Who owns the L if Comey walks? What the actual fuck is going on in the Trump administration now? Will Pam Bondi poo the bed on Comey? Is Trump going to back up his ICE agents or just let them take it up the pooper from the Portland trans-Tifas? So far it seems the latter, as an agent was just fucking suspended before being reinstated by some clueless broad that apparently doesn't understand con-fucking text and was hasty to suspend him. Girl brain at work in America, boys. More on that later. Up first, feels like Amber Heard is still haunting the duvet between Pam and Trump. Cheeky? Absolutely, but the question stands. This is Max Echo. Today, optics. If James Comey walks, who owns the loss? Surprisingly, not the trial prosecutor, not even the fucking ditzy U.S. attorney who announced it. No, the blame lands up top, on Attorney General Pam Bondi, a.k.a. Boobs McGee, as they say in the hallways of the DOJ. And, by extension, on President Trump. He set the expectations and installed the team. Let's unpack it. Perception matters. Pam Bondi runs the Department of Justice, or at least she tries to between fucking things up. Lindsey Halligan announced the indictment. She'll try the case. Great. 2 broads and no brains. On brand for Trump. When a high-profile case falls apart, the headline reads, DOJ whiffed, and DOJ's face is the Attorney General. Right now, that whiff hits the nose like a hotel mini-fridge you forgot to close. Excuse me, someone get Bondi a case of Febreze. Better yet, a truckload. What this case actually is, 2 counts. False statements to Congress, obstruction of a congressional proceeding, conduct tied to September 30th, 2020 testimony. The filing is short, light on detail. Even friendly voices call it thin. Thin indictments are like cheap toilet paper. One poke and it's a mess. A smelly, poopy mess. A dirty diaper of a mess. Stinky finger through the toilet paper because it's cheap. Mess. Trump should have washed his hands of the poopy mess that Bondi is already, but what the fuck do I know? I watch politics and play Diablo. Why the optics tilt against DOJ? First, timing. The White House wanted action. Leadership shifted in Virginia. Then charges landed. Even if it's by the book, it looks political. Second, early process hiccups made headlines. Fair or not, a story formed, rushed, pressured, light on detail, and once a stink sets in, people stop asking where it came from. They just light a candle and blame the nearest boss. If Comey isn't convicted, here's what the audience hears. Another big swing. Another miss. No one's reading footnotes to find the drafting attorney. They'll say Bondi's DOJ lost, and because the president publicly pushed for results, he'll own the odor too. That's how Washington credit and blame works. What DOJ could do. Now, if the evidence is strong, shore it up. File a superseding indictment with specifics. Tighten materiality. Scrub any process confusion before trial. Don't bring air freshener to court. Bring evidence. Bottom line. If Comey walks, the L won't be stamped Halligan. It'll be stamped Bondi's DOJ. And politically, that rolls uphill to Trump. Not a legal judgment, an optics judgment. And optics decide what people remember.
Before we wrap,
a quick detour. Same theme. Optics. New York City. 26 Federal Plaza. An ICE officer is caught on video shoving a woman to the ground outside immigration court. DHS says, relieved of his current duties pending investigation. That's the headline. Fast forward a few days. CBS reports the officer is returned to duty after a preliminary review. No public write-up, no clear timeline, just back on. Cue the backlash. NYC Comptroller Brad Lander and Representative Dan Goldman demand answers from DHS. They want the paper trail. Who decided what and when? Matt Walsh has the best take here. If you're going to be effective, you better back the ICE agents. They suspended first, then actually reviewed the footage, then reversed it. knee-jerk politics over process. We are back to thin toilet paper again. Trump is getting poopy fingers due to ineptitude. Here's the problem. It looks unorganized. Because it is unorganized. If you rush the press line before you finish the review, you invite a correction. And corrections smell like an unventilated stairwell at noon. Get the Febreze. Spritz. Better yet, fix the process. What the tape shows is a charged scene. A woman reaching for her detained husband. Agents move in. A shove. She hits the floor. The clip goes instantly viral. People.com. The right question isn't team agent or team protester. It's policy. What's the use of force ladder in a courthouse corridor? Who owns that space? USMS or ICE? Do they have clear hands-on rules for bystanders touching detainees? And did the officer follow them? If you're DHS and you want public trust, you do 3 things in order. 1. Hold the officer on administrative status for 48 hours, not a public perp walk. A real fact review, CCTV, witness statements, medical report. 2. Publish the timeline, minute by minute, who signed what, when the video was reviewed, what the policy says, no adjectives, just receipts. 3. If it's clean, say why. If it's not, say what's changing, training, discipline, policy edits. That's how you keep the stink from becoming the story.
Because here's the DC reality.
When you suspend, then unsuspend, the public doesn't see nuance. They see a communications fire drill. They see leadership testing the wind. And they wonder who's actually in charge. This loops back to Bondi. If your first instinct is optics and your second instinct is process, you just donated another talking point to your critics. And fair or not, the L rolls uphill again. Meanwhile, activists and journalists see a pattern. Another incident the same week at the same courthouse. A photojournalist to the hospital after a shove chain in the hallway. 2 data points start to look like a trend. Fast. Common dreams. My take? If the officer followed policy, back him. Publicly, quickly, specifically. If he didn't, own it and fix it on camera. Either way, pick a lane, because whiplash is worse than a tough call. Whiplash says no one's driving. And for the record, if your internal review ends with policy was followed, but your policy looks like Swiss cheese in a crowd control scenario, that's the smell. Don't spray it, rewrite it. Bottom line, suspend or don't, but don't announce first and verify second. That's how you get a 2-day story and a 7-day scandal, and the byline won't be random supervisor at EDNY. It'll be DHS. It'll be Bondi. Disclosure. Everyone is presumed innocent. We update when facts change. I'm Max Echo. Like and subscribe. Echo out.